Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Um, I have my music on right now. If you don't know me, I get messages through music too. I saw that you moved on with someone new. It's so hard. Just listening. Words I never got to say the first time around. And I remember everything. There with you now, I think it says. If the whole world was watching, I'd still dance with you. Highways and byways to be there with you. Over and over, the only truth. Everything comes back to you. This message from Divine Masculine. You still make me nervous when you walk in the room. Butterflies, they come alive. Over and over, the only truth. Everything comes back to you. I've got this like feeling in my chest, like I'm having a hard time breathing. And I've had this a bunch in the last month or so, maybe a little bit longer, as I can feel a more divine energy coming in and coming more into alignment with a deeper level of me as I upgrade and as I feel the collective upgrading and after going through this like ego death, there's another layer of grief that is being processed right now, and I don't think it's just yours. I think it's Divine Masculine too. And I'm saying that assuming that this is Divine Feminine that's watching, because that's usually who's watching. But so I read the other day that in Chinese medicine, the grief sits in your lungs, which makes so much sense for this. I've had this trouble breathing, and I've had this trouble processing the grief that's been coming up. I was in acupuncture the other day, and I was just getting this intuitive nudge that I'm having a hard time letting go. I'm having a hard time letting go of certain people or situations in my life, and I just could feel this tight hold, and like all I wanted to do was go like this. There's just this, and again, I'm having a hard time breathing as I say that. So luckily, my acupuncturist is very intuitive too, and he listens to me. And I was like, "Is there a point where you will help me to like let go, or like, what if it was like water? I needed the water. I needed flow. I was hearing the word flow. Like, what if I need my tears to flow? There's something that's holding. Maybe there's anger or something that is blocking flow of emotion." And the only thing that came to him was this point right here. It was called a conception point or something. It was a little bit lower, and it's connected with the heart and the lungs. And we had never done a lung point before. And I was like, okay, I trust you. And that felt like I could relax my hand intuitively. And then I, happened to get an email in my inbox about something about Chinese medicine. And of course, it was talking about where we store grief. And I was like, that makes so much sense. Okay, so grief is stored in our lungs. There's a message from the guides to go to the trees. There's a level of processing that has to happen right now during the full moon. And it's got to be by water. It's got to be in the trees, and it's got to be by water. I'm even like a little bit dizzy right now. In order to release this grief, to release this grief. Or there's something that needs to be said too. There's something that needs to be expressed or said, or it could be just an emotion that needs to be expressed, or this is Divine Masculine energy too, so you're feeling a lot of he's processing a lot of this. And oh, there's a tower on the bottom here. That's what's holding everything up. So there's an aspect of you that stopped believing in him, stopped believing in Divine Masculine. It's just like, I only know what I see, and men are only like this, and blah, blah, blah. The 3D world has gotten in and taken over what you believe in your heart, what you know about your counterpart. You know him. It's like this desire to believe in him again. Is in there. It's in there. And it's trying to come out. Like you've squashed down your belief in true love or a divine connection because it sounds too woo-woo, or it sounds too like it doesn't make sense on paper or in the real world, or that's not what real love is, or it's like you have many other people's words and your twin or your masculine's words, and it may not be the same thing. Your masculine is coming in and saying, those things that I said, I didn't really believe them. I was just saying them because I was not tricked, but trying to create a 3D life. I was hurt. I felt judged. And I had a real need to run to something that felt comfortable and sure and rooted in the three. I needed to root myself in the 3D. This is all coming from Divine Masculine right now. It's like I can... It's like I've been blocking his voice. But I can hear him loud and clear right now. There's something inside of me that doesn't want to believe these words that are coming through. I want to believe the words that were the hurtful words. Even though I could feel underneath of those that you don't really think that. I know how you feel deep down. You're just saying that. It's okay because you're hurt. I took all of those to heart. Divine Feminine. You took the programmed words to heart. And you stopped believing what you knew deep down inside. That this is my home space. This is where I'm meant to be. Because maybe he said, no, you're not. This person is. And it was so confusing, and it was so... You stopped believing in yourself and what you knew in your heart and your intuition because it wasn't matching yet. Wasn't matching yet. You didn't realize how outside of time you were, and how you had so much to learn about yourself, and he had so much to learn about himself in order to come back around to it again. Your Divine Masculine is coming back around to it right now. The realization that it was always you. It was always you. Sitting in the middle of any relationship or the relationship that I had, you were always the barrier between us really coming together because it was always you. There's something really blowing up in his life, and it feels like you can feel that. Alive Again. The song Alive Again is on. I feel like I'm alive again. Even just this realization that for some of you, this divine masculine is with somebody else and it's blowing up. 111 on my recording right now. God, just be patient. Just be patient. It was not time before. And as much as it sucks to hear that, I hate hearing that. I hate it when temperance shows up in the readings. I see that card and I'm just like, ugh! I have such a love-hate relationship with her. And I'm just like, oh, I know you're right, but I'm so impatient. I just want it now. I've been saying that for years. I just want it now. I just want it now. 11:11 on my recording. I feel my heart beating. You make me feel alive again. There's oh man. You make me feel alive again. Look at this Queen of Wands. What is it in your life that, there's so many parallels here. Like, I'm hearing go to the trees. Like, you need to oxygenate your brain and your intuitive knowing and be next to the water and stuff like that. In order to access this creative space again. I feel my heart beating again. I'm talking about the grief sitting in your lungs. You need to get your heart rate up. You need to go and be in the woods and be around oxygen and oxygenate yourself and breathe. Really get the air, literally the air in your physical body moving, the energy in your physical body moving in order to access that deep knowing, that creative space, that passion, that spark again. Where is your spark? There is a part of you, and this is a reading that I did a couple of, or not even a reading. It was just I just needed to be real and get to the place inside of me that's felt dead inside for a very long time. And it's time to start coming alive again. Your masculine is doing the same thing. As much as it sucks, you lead the way. The feminine leads the way by creating the energetic space first. She opens the portal to that union space. She opens that portal. You have to allow yourself to be accessed. And you're doing that by being discerning about the energies that are entering your life. There are certain energies that are coming in. Some of you are dating right now. And there are people that you're dating that are saying all the right things, but there's something underneath of it that just doesn't feel right. And it's mirroring that pain inside of you that you experienced when your divine masculine or your twin or whatever, your soulmate, whatever you want to call them, said something to you that you knew wasn't true. I don't see you the same way. I'm not interested in you. I don't ever see us together, or this was not real, or, I just want to move on and you're not my person. You're not the one for me. You're not the one for me. And there's something inside of you that knew better, just knew better. The words weren't matching the energy. That experience is sitting right here in your lungs, and you need to breathe your way out of it. You need to breathe through it. You deserve the appropriate words. You deserve real. You deserve authentic. But what he had to do was go through the process of allowing himself to, allowing his energy to match his words, allowing his words to match his energy. He should have said, I'm really just angry and shut down and have no idea how to access what I have going on right now. And I need the space to be able to process that. I don't know what that means for us, but all I know is that we're combustible together, and it's sparking this anger inside of me every time we talk, every time I'm around you. And I know that that's something that I have to get to. That doesn't have to do with you, but it does have to do with our chemistry right now. And so I have to separate that from that in order to be able to witness it. I have a lot of fear that I'm going to lose you forever, but I have to face that fear right now. And I got to do it. That's really what I meant. Lonely. Echo, what song is this? Echo, turn it up. Echo, what song is this? Lonely by Noah Cyrus. There is this deep, 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 deep loneliness inside of you and inside of him. And it's been coming up a lot for me in the last week, leading up to this full moon. It's so important to get to that place and find out where does that loneliness come. It's like original separation. I've talked about this in one of my twin flame videos before. Echo, turn it down. Do you know how you find the place of loneliness? How do you like not just fill that space? You can't fill that space. You have to sit in that space and listen to it. Where is that loneliness coming from? You have to go to that place. Instead of trying to find another person or an experience or something else to fill it, only temporarily. It needs to be healed once and for all. There is this book that I have sitting here that it's called I Am the Door. And it's all about the door to your heart. The page that it's been open to for the last week. And I've been like, I don't even want to read this out loud, like kind of bitter and just like, I don't want to be alone though. I feel like I've been alone for so long. I have felt, even in connections with other people, I have felt alone, and that's the problem. So somebody else isn't even really filling that space for you. Even your masculine can't fill that space for you. That's the problem. When you came together in the first place, he was trying to fill a void, and so were you. And if you had come together at that point, it at some point would have imploded. Because you needed to go on a journey of finding the gold in that place, the beauty in that place, and the beauty in that loneliness, that solitude. That's where you find you. You had to go on a journey to find who you were, separate from anybody else's energy, including your counterpart, who mirrors so much about it. They mirror just enough to spark this thing inside of you that's like, wait, I need to know who I am. I need to know who the rest of me is, though. That's like, give me more, because I felt so me. It was like, that was just a little taste. Now, you go on a journey to find the rest of that. Go on a journey to find energies that match that and fill yourself with that. Fill yourself with that knowing. It's like, but I can only get it from there. I can only get it from that person or that experience or whatever it was. No. It was inside of you. It was sparked inside of you. But it has been neglected, and it's like this place of solitude inside of you. It's the place of abandonment where you abandoned who you really were, not knowing how to get to that place, not knowing how to be that, not being supported in just being that. Your twin, your divine masculine or feminine, came in and sparked that in you and saw that in you for however long. It's only this long a time period. What it feels like. I can buy myself flowers. I can write my name in the sand. Talk to myself for hours. To learn how to love yourself no matter where you are. Being you wherever you are. So that experience with your person, when they said, I'm not interested anymore. It's let's just move on, and the energy underneath of it didn't match. Can you love them in that place too? Can you love them and leave them? Can you love them and not be afraid to lose them at the same time? Because that's what they experienced. That's what they sacrificed. And were the bad guy or bad girl in order to do what they were guided to do. They had to, so that you both could journey to this place, a very, very deep place. To learn how not to fill that space with things and people and sex and whatever. There's this addictive energy that has been, like I talked about in my last reading. There's a deep, deep, deep place of separation and disconnect that you were meant to get to through separation. When you come together, when your energies come together, you mirror. You, even if it was just for a split second, you mirrored the energy of the Godhead in order for both of you to experience it and to know what that was. You drew it out of him, he drew it out of you or her, so that you could access it. But it was inside of you. It was inside of them. So this book says solitude. Solitude is necessary for your emotional health. And this goes back to the reading that I did the other day too. Look back in my other videos. It was a message from the Divine Masculine that you need to be on your own right now. You need to be on your own for however long that is. It's not going to be forever. It's just long enough for you to find you. Solitude is necessary for your emotional health, whether you're living alone or living with another. Solitude gives you the time and space to integrate your experience. Having lots of experiences means nothing if you do not take the time to learn from them. I just recently, I was talking about it on here not long ago. I just disconnected from the person that I was dating recently. And it set off, it was a catalyst for processing so much unresolved grief. But I'm also grieving the loss of just this companion that I had in my life for a while. And he started dating somebody else right away, and I was like, okay, well, let me just jump right back into it. And I get on these dating apps, and I just can't connect with somebody else, and I'm just not ready to. And it was just trying too much, but I want that. I want my person. If it wasn't him, then I want my person. But it's like I want that. I need that comfort. And I can find that. I have to be able to find that in the 5D space and not need to attach to it in the 3D way. I'm trying to also escape the experience of, the way that it went down and the way that it happened and stuff like that. I know that I'm meant to learn something from it. I know that I am, but just looking at it, and I've been guided again this week to look at it, to kind of be in the middle of it and interact with it and, maybe talk to him a little bit. There's still pain there. What is it? And I've been sitting here like, it's leading up to the full moon, and obviously there's something there that I'm meant to release. There's something that I'm not seeing that it's like I need to learn from it. What am I supposed to learn from it? Having lots of experiences means nothing if you don't take the time to learn from them. Jumping from activity to activity or relationship to relationship wreaks havoc on your emotional core. There's something there about witnessing him jump to another relationship that I'm supposed to see. And I can see the pattern of how I've done that a couple of times in the past. The time you take to integrate your experience is as important as the time you take to have the experience itself. So there's some processing that needs to happen. Not only about the separation, the disconnect, but also about the experience itself, the experience of the connection and what it was. There's a processing that needs to happen. Not just the negative things, but the positive. Like, you have to allow the positive things in too, and allow yourself to experience the positive things. It's almost like there's so many things that I come across on a daily basis that remind me of him, and we used to share this, or I'll see this picture, or I'll see the sunset or something, and we always shared sunset pictures and stuff, and so it'll remind me of him. And it's a really beautiful memory, but it's almost like that's so painful for me too. Like, it's hard for me to allow it to just be a beautiful experience without like attaching to it and needing it to still be there in order to appreciate it. There's a little bit of that I have trouble with. Every breath you take has 3 movements. So again, with the breath and processing through whatever you're meant to, through your lungs right now, there's an important integration happening in your field through the breath and through your lungs. Every breath you take is 3 movements: an inhalation, a pause, and an exhalation. There's so many of you that are in the pause right now. And it's like that impatient time period. Pretty soon you're going to be able to exhale. Pretty soon your ship comes in. And this is what I'm looking at over here. This Queen of Wands looking out over at this 3 of Wands. You can feel him. You can feel him or her. You can feel your counterpart calling it in. It's on the horizon a little bit, but you can feel it coming in. You have to start believing again. It's in this pause time period that you find out who you really are and what you really believe about you, about your journey, about your spirituality, about your connection to source, about the truth of your twin flame journey, the medicine, the twin flame medicine that you hold in you. You're in the process of finding your truth, and someone else is a mirror for that right now. And you need to take your power back. You've given your power away. Like, I, in some way, have given my power away to this person that I was dating. And there's something there that I need to witness in order to see that. That's why I had to look at it again this week. As painful as it is to see that, I gave my power to him in a way that Spirit is trying to show me so that I can take it back again. The inhalation is for the taking in of the experience. The pause is for its assimilation. And the exhalation is for the release of experience. While the pause is just a second or two, it is essential for the integrity of the breath. Solitude allows you to pause. The quality of your life depends on it. Your energy and enthusiasm arise from it. If you drop out this part, your life will be an empty shell. A great deal may pass in and out of it, but nothing will stick. There will be no assimilation of experience or growth in consciousness. I just heard again, go to the trees, go to the trees, go to the trees. There is some breathing that needs to happen that's going to help you to process whatever it is that you're going through right now and access your belief system again. The masculine or your counterpart, take it however it resonates for you, obviously. I'm just speaking from the perspective of the way that it's appearing right now. There's something in your subconscious. There's a belief system in your subconscious that is gold, that you're not letting yourself see. It's like, I really, really, really think I am amazing. I'm like this divine being. And you don't allow yourself to see it or say it or feel it, really know it. You've been keeping it secret for a really long time. And it's hidden away. It's time for you to really see that side of you and really own it. Take your power back from where you've given it away, where you've dimmed yourself in order to build them up. Oh, that's what it is. Obviously, this people-pleasing energy, and I see it in connection to this person. But it was this process of me building him up, and he had come out of another relationship and was needing comfort and in a roundabout kind of way, but it was so insecure and had all of these deep down feelings and stuff about, but just wanting to move on, but was so beat down from what his ex had done to him and was feeling in such an insecure place. It was like I was meant to be there to build him up, to bring him to a place of security or feeling safe or whatever. But I did it in a way where I lost myself. It just brought out all the insecurities in me and brought my attention to the places where I hide and dim my light in order for someone else to shine. There's a fine line between being boastful and taking up all, this is what I'm hearing, taking up all the limelight and just letting yourself shine and be that. But doing the work for other people. Doing the energy work for other people. It's like your counterpart, your masculine, left. Because you were looking for the same thing. You were looking to be built up. And he was like, you need to go figure out how to do that on your own. And so did he. So, getting to a point of being totally rock bottom or stripped down, stripped naked, being totally vulnerable, and surrendering to who you are. I can't live without being me anymore. And facing the adversity, facing the rejection of that, facing those that are either jealous of that or want you to stop being that because it is too much for them, makes them face their demons. Sitting in the middle of that and knowing who you are anyway, not dimming it, doesn't do anybody any good for you to dim yourself. It's like enabling. The reason that you're looking for love from other people is that you don't realize that love comes only from your own consciousness. It has nothing to do with anyone else. Love comes from your willingness to think loving thoughts, experience loving feelings, and act in trusting, love-inspiring ways. If you're willing to do this, your cup will run over. You will constantly have the love that you need, and you will take delight in offering it to others. The fountainhead of love is within your own heart. Don't look to others to provide the love you need. Don't blame others for withholding their love from you. You don't need their love. You need your love. Love is the only gift you can give yourself. Give it to yourself, and the universe resounds with a big yes. Withhold it, and the game of hide and seek continues. Looking for love in all the wrong places. There's only one place you can look for love and find it. No one who has ever looked there has ever been disappointed. As long as you deny the self by seeking it through another, you will have trespass and abuse. If you want love, bring love to the places in yourself that feel unloved. If you want light, bring it to the dark places of your mind. Bring it to the fear and the shame, to the sadness, to the perceived lack of purpose or hope. That light is within you. It is not separate from the darkness. It is a quality of the darkness itself. When you get to absolute pitch blackness, there illumination is found. Blackest black becomes radiant. Sadness turns to unaccountable joy. Despair turns to hope without measure. In one pole, you find the other. It's like you lost hope. And that's the place where you need to go. That's the place of loneliness and separation and disconnect. Cold, cold heart. It's all the pain of codependent connection with other people to see your light, for validation, to tell you how to be. It's been a long, long time till touchdown brings me around. I get to find. The only way out of the detour of codependent relationships is to befriend and honor the self. Then one can build relationship on the truth of self-coherence. This is the new paradigm of relationship. In the old relationship paradigm, the commitment to self is vitiated, I don't know what that word is, by the commitment to other. In seeking to please the other, self is abandoned. That's what I was talking about. It's people pleasing and putting everyone else before you. Since the abandoned self is incapable of love, this constitutes a vicious cycle of attraction and rejection. First the self is excluded, and then the other is excluded. All genuine relationship must be built on the foundation of one's acceptance of and love for self. That is the primary spiritual gesture, the one that opens the door to the potential for intimacy. Your cold, cold heart. You gotta jumpstart your heart right now. Go jumpstart your heart. Okay? That's what your counterpart is telling you right now. In that place, you will hear them calling. And in that place is where you'll sit and you'll say, just give me another minute, okay? Have some patience. I need this time for me right now. It's almost as if your counterpart may possibly show up at your door in person, call you, connect with you, finally. And it's this thing that you've been waiting for, and there's this thing inside of you that's really going to want to attach to it. Just be like, oh, this is what I've been dreaming of for so long. And there's this other part of you, the balanced place of you, love for you, that says, I'm not quite ready just yet. There's going to be a part of you that's afraid to lose them. Holds on real tight because I might lose you. I'm in the middle of doing me right now, and I just need a little bit. Sit in that knowing. Sit in that knowing that you're exactly where you need to be, and you've actually drawn this in. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. You're sitting in the middle of the fear of abandonment. You're sitting in the place of complete separation and loneliness and fear, declaring, I feel that fear that I'm going to lose you. I feel the fear that I'll be abandoned, and I'm going to face it anyway. And just know that I can't abandon myself right now. I am holding my child in her most vulnerable state. I have to do this right now. And they're going to be like, okay, yeah, love that about you. Okay? That was real roundabout kind of download and purge, and I had to talk through it to get to what it is that was trying to speak from here and from there and connect. So I'm going to go witness. I'm going to go to the trees. I'm going for a hike. I'm going to go oxygenate, and process, and send out the frequency of me when I connect with her. Okay? Love you guys.